Hey guys, so in the previous video we learned how to navigate to a specific screen, and if there is a need to pass some data, we were able to pass the data to route params, right? Route params. So now let's use this route param and let's fetch the details of that particular anime. So for that we need to copy this URL, which is nothing but the API, and let's call it as URL. We'll store it. We need to keep it in string. Now see, the thing which we have to change, or rather I'll say we have to keep it dynamic, is this particular value, right? So we cannot keep it 1, because if we keep it 1, every time we'll be getting details of the anime whose ID is 1. We don't want that. We want our route param ID to replace this thing. So what we can do is we will just shorten this URL, and we will now try to make an API call. So the way we make an API call is we want to make the API call whenever the component gets mounted or the screen gets mounted. So we'll write a function get anime details, and we'll define this function. We'll say get anime details is equal to, and we'll say fetch, and we'll pass the URL. But now with the URL we also need to add the ID which we got, right? And if you can see, right now we have till here in our URL. So now we are appending 1, which is the ID, and then we also want to append full, right? And we obviously need slashes in between. So what we can do is we can say slash full. So before I actually do that, make a fetch request. Let me see if this thing is looking good. So yeah, you can see that this URL looks good. Let's also test this URL on the browser. And when we do that, yeah, we are able to get the response, right? So that's really great. So again, coming back to making the network request, we have already seen how we make network request by using fetch. We'll say fetch, and if the fetch has a successful response, then it will enter the then body. In the then body we are defining the callback function where we'll say res, and what we'll do is res.json, and now this res.json, if it succeeds, then again we'll have one more then, and in that we'll again say res, and we'll say console.log res, and just in case if it fails, we'll keep a catch block, and in catch block we'll say e as the error, and we'll say log the error. Let's see what happens. Okay, so let me restart it actually, so that logs becomes much more evident. Now if I click on this one, you can immediately see we have some response coming, right? So that's like really great. Now what we can do with this response is we can store it in a state. So to do that, what we can do, we have already seen that we will copy this response, and we will go to this website where we can convert our JSON into a TypeScript file, right? So what we can do here is we can copy this whole thing, and we can go to interface, and we can paste it. Now when we paste it, we are able to see bunch of errors, and the reason we are able to see bunch of errors because some of these things already exist in the interface file. So if you search for trailer will exist in 2 different places. So we need to somehow change this thing because this will create problems. So we'll be doing that in the next video. Thank you.